What is up, disc golfers? Today on Iceberg TV, I want to go over my top 4 favorite players and then touch a little bit on how those players have impacted either the way that I play the game or the way that I view the game. So this is a little bit different type of video than what I usually make, but I want to encourage you guys in the comment section down below to tell me who your favorite player is, why they're your favorite player, or you could even give me your top 2 or 3. So make sure you hit the like button and then throw that in the comment section down below. And we're gonna get this underway, starting with my man, Chris Dickerson. Now, Chris Dickerson is one of my favorite players for not only the reason that he's very composed and he obviously throws far, he's a great player, but what really sold me on this guy is his step putting. And I've actually implemented a very similar style of putt into my own game because I was sort of motivated and inspired by the way that he makes putts like this on a regular basis. So we see him lining up the putt like that, just outside circle range, clean step putt, puts it in the bottom of the basket. Now he's making these at a very high level, very consistently, and I think he may be the best putter in the world from like 12 to 15 meters. I don't think anybody is better than him, especially doing it in the woods. So just to show an example of how that has sort of affected my game, I actually have a clip here on my Instagram from the match play tournament that we did about maybe 3 weeks to a month ago. Oh yeah, it says the post is 3 weeks ago. So I was in a match play event. I threw a really good drive, a really crappy second shot, and then we'll look at the putt and you guys can see that it's very similar to Chris Dickerson's. I got my Metal Flake Thunderbird here. I clipped that tree on the right. I'm not happy. It had the steam to get to the basket, but now I'm pretty short. I'm up on the hill. We got the 65 feet ticker here. This is a really big putt. I need to make this. Thankfully, I banged that one, and I'm really happy to not lose my 1-stroke advantage here. And that really put the pressure on Dill to make. So that was a super clutch putt like late in the match, and it was, you know, able to get me from a 1-stroke advantage to a 2-stroke advantage when, you know, without the step putt and without sort of being inspired by seeing that out of Chris Dickerson, I may not have been able to make a play like that. So again, the step putt, Chris Dickerson tops my list at number 4. So we're gonna move on to number 3. My man, Simon Lizotte. So the thing about Simon Lizotte that's very, very cool to me is not only like really he's been playing well and he's been making some lead cards here and there, but he hasn't really been winning everything, but he just knows how to be the fan favorite. I mean, I'm a prime example of that. Like, I love seeing Simon on lead card. I like the way he plays. He doesn't lay anything up. He plays aggressively. He throws very hard. What in my mind separates Simon from the rest of the pro disc golfers is his ability to market himself. He doesn't take his opportunities for granted, and he maximizes on any and all opportunities he's been given. So again, he's not really winning tournaments, and he's not really playing at that high of a level right now, and he's not winning events, and he hasn't really even been that close this year. But he markets himself. He knows how to advertise the Signature Series discs. He knows how to win over the crowd. He runs his own YouTube channel, which I obviously can relate to because obviously I have my own channel. So he's approaching nearly 50,000 subscribers, and there's no other disc golfer, like professional disc golfer, that's also a YouTuber that makes the quality content that he makes consistently. And so when he's done being a pro player, I mean, he's getting like 50,000 views a video. Like, he could literally give up disc golf and take up a career as a YouTuber, and he would be fine. So he's literally banking on himself and advertising himself and putting in the hard work, and not only to work on his game, but also to build his Simon Lizotte brand. And I find that very inspiring and motivating for myself. Obviously, I have a more younger channel. We just hit 1,500 subscribers. Shout out to you guys. I'm super hyped about that. So Simon Lizotte hits my list. Number 3, great YouTube channel, great guy, great player, good energy. Moving on. So the next player on my list is gonna be Big Germ. So Big Germ is just a great player. Seems like a real nice dude. He's very relatable, and I think his game it's very unique because he relies so heavily on like strange forehand angles and very unique shots. He plays his discs a lot differently than a lot of the other pro players do.
Yeah.
So when I first started playing disc golf, I only threw forehand. I didn't have a backhand. So when I would watch pro tour events, I was physically unable to play the backhand holes. Like, I'd literally show up to tournaments and 3 players would throw a backhand and I would throw a forehand, and I would be like, feeling like I'm at a severe disadvantage. But then you watch a player like Big Germ play, who is a predominantly forehand player. He's playing with the best in the world, and he's throwing like 90% sidearms. Again, he does have the backhand, you see it here. So he can throw some massive shots, but what really inspired me about seeing Big Germ's game is the way he can handle his forehand game, the way he can manipulate understable and overstable discs. That was really motivating to me to continue to perfect the forehand and realize how far I could actually take it. And it really helped develop my game early on, seeing how Big Germ plays the game. And then obviously Big Sexy Commentary is ridiculous. They're great. They're fantastic on Jomez and all that. So Big Germ is going to be my second favorite disc golfer. He's number 2 on this list. And just an example of how I sort of implemented a similar style of play to my game is a lot of players in this situation. This is in the next gen IDGC Final 9, TD'd by Dave Feldberg. This is from the Ace Run Pro channel, so shout out to them. Most players in this situation would probably line up a backhand hyzer, but I threw kind of a bad drive. I'm in here in the shrubs, and instead of going with like what most people would do, I went with what I was confident in, and I was able to get up and down and, you know, fortunately save the par off of a really crappy drive.
It's going to end up, pretty much everybody ended up on that side besides Jake. This is a good run at it.
Very aggressive, actually. I don't know if you meant to go that aggressive, but it worked out.
Yes, Dave Feldberg, I did mean to go that aggressive, and I almost threw it in. Thanks to my man, Big Germ, number 2 on my list. And he comes in right behind the forehand god himself, Nate Sexton, my favorite player, the player that I try to emulate more than anybody else in my game. He doesn't throw the furthest. He's not the most prolific. At first glance, he's not the most exciting, but he seems like a super great dude. He's got a really good head on his shoulders, great game. He's very composed, he's clutch. And then, you know, once in a while you just shock the world somehow. Big Germ seems to always be there when somebody aces. So my favorite disc golf disc by far is the Nate Sexton Firebird. I have a small collection of them that it's the only disc that I have any interest in collecting. Like, I have like 6 or 7 of them that just sit on the shelves as backups, but like, you don't lose them that often. So I just like have them just because I like to support Nate Sexton. I think he's a great player. We play a very similar game. We throw a lot of flex forehands. He's, again, similar to Big Germ. I watch the way Nate Sexton plays, and I want to emulate that in my own game. I think his game is very intelligent, recreatable, and then really what makes him so elite is his ability to come up clutch in the end and make big putts. Again, throws a lot of big putts. He's very good from that just outside circle 1 range. He's a very good putter and a great overall player. We'll look at one more clip on we just saw Nate Sexton slam a big straddle putt. This is from that same next gen tournament on a different hole. We'll hear what my boy Dave Feldberg had to say about this one.
Oh, the answer by Dylan says, oh, you want to go within a stroke? Then I'll make the only birdie. How's that?
There you go. He was in position, so he was definitely the closest one to be able to take that birdie down.
When I made this hole, the people helped me design it, wondered if it was too tight, but Dylan just proved that you can birdie it. Thank you, Dylan.
Thank you for putting the respect on my name, Dave Feldberg. The first shot was intentionally aggressive, and I banged that putt for the solo birdie. Thank you and have a good day for that one, Mr. Dave Feldberg. Again, big shout out to Ace Run Pro. They were not in my video the other day, but this is one of my favorite disc golf channels. I know Felix and Conrad personally. Great dudes, they make great content, and they're very passionate about disc golf. So Nate Sexton is going to round out my top 4 favorite slash motivational slash influential players on my list. Again, tell me who has influenced your game in the comments section down below and why. It could be because of a signature shot that they have, the way they putt, the way they carry themselves on the course. Put that in the comments section down below. I'm very excited to read what you guys have to say. Don't forget to hit that like button. Thank you for watching. This is Iceberg TV, and take care.